Spiritual warfare isn't just a concept, it's happening all around us, and I'm about to reveal what you've been missing. The concept of spiritual warfare has been around for centuries, but it's more relevant today than ever before. Many of us have grown up hearing about spiritual warfare in church or from religious leaders, but what does it really mean? Spiritual warfare is the idea that there's a constant battle between good and evil, and we're all caught in the middle. It's not just about angels and demons, it's about the struggles we face every day. Spiritual warfare is often associated with the supernatural, but it's more than that. It's about the struggles we face in our daily lives, from anxiety and depression to addiction and fear. It's about the forces that are working against us, trying to hold us back from living the lives we're meant to live. The problem is, many of us don't even realize we're in a war. Despite its importance, spiritual warfare is often misunderstood. Many of us think it's just about praying and reading our Bibles, but it's so much more than that. It's about recognizing the enemy's tactics and fighting back. It's about being aware of the spiritual realm and taking control of our lives. Let's face it, the concept of spiritual warfare can be overwhelming. Where do we even start? Do we need to be theologians or spiritual experts to understand what's going on? The truth is, spiritual warfare is something we can all relate to, regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs. It's about recognizing the struggles we face and fighting back. One of the biggest misconceptions about spiritual warfare is that it's only for Christians. But the truth is, every single one of us is in a spiritual battle, whether we realize it or not. It doesn't matter what our beliefs are, we're all facing the same enemy. The question is, are we going to recognize the battle and fight back, or are we going to let the enemy win? Another misconception is that spiritual warfare is only about demonic possession or exorcisms. But the truth is, most of us will never encounter demonic possession in our lives. Spiritual warfare is about the everyday battles we face, from self-doubt and fear to addiction and temptation. It's about recognizing the enemy's tactics and fighting back. Many of us have been taught that spiritual warfare is something we need to be fearful of. But the truth is, spiritual warfare is something we should be empowered by. We have the power to fight back, to take control of our lives, and to overcome the enemy's tactics. We don't need to be afraid of the spiritual realm, we need to be aware of it. We often think that spiritual warfare is something that only happens to other people. But the truth is, we're all in this battle together. We're all facing the same enemy, and we all need to fight back. Spiritual warfare isn't just about individual battles, it's about community, it's about supporting one another, and it's about fighting together. One of the biggest challenges we face in understanding spiritual warfare is that it's invisible. We can't see the enemy, we can't see the battle, and we can't see the outcome. But that doesn't mean it's not real. We need to learn to trust our instincts, to recognize the signs of spiritual warfare, and to take action. Many of us have been taught that spiritual warfare is something we need to be ashamed of. But the truth is, spiritual warfare is something we should be proud of. We're fighting for our lives, we're fighting for our families, and we're fighting for our communities. We should be proud to be part of this battle. Despite the challenges we face, spiritual warfare is something we can't ignore. We need to recognize the battle, we need to understand the enemy's tactics, and we need to fight back. We can't just sit back and wait for someone else to do it, we need to take action. In order to understand spiritual warfare, we need to understand the historical context. We need to understand where this concept comes from, what it's based on, and how it's developed over time. We need to understand the different perspectives on spiritual warfare, from Christianity to other religions and belief systems. The truth is, spiritual warfare has been a part of human history for centuries. From ancient civilizations to modern-day societies, spiritual warfare has been a constant theme. We can learn so much from history, from the ways people have approached spiritual warfare to the ways they fought back. Personal testimonies are often the most powerful way to understand spiritual warfare. Hearing from people who have fought back against the enemy, who have overcome their struggles, and who have emerged victorious is incredibly inspiring. It reminds us that we're not alone, that we're part of a community that's fighting for the same thing. One of the most interesting aspects of spiritual warfare is the different forces at play in the spiritual realm. From angels and demons to spiritual principalities and powers, there's so much we don't understand. We need to learn to recognize these forces, to understand their roles, and to take action against them. The spiritual realm is a mysterious place, full of unknowns and uncertainties. But that doesn't mean we should be fearful of it. We need to be curious, we need to be open-minded, and we need to be willing to learn. We need to recognize that the spiritual realm is real, and that it's a part of our everyday lives. As we delve deeper into spiritual warfare, we begin to realize that it's not just about us. It's about our communities, our families, and our societies. It's about recognizing the impact that spiritual warfare has on the world around us, and taking action to make a difference. One of the most significant insights I've gained in my exploration of spiritual warfare is the importance of recognizing our own role in the battle. We're not just victims, we're warriors. We have the power to fight back, to take control of our lives, and to overcome the enemy's tactics. As I've learned more about spiritual warfare, I've realized that it's not just about fighting against the enemy, it's about fighting for something bigger than ourselves. It's about fighting for love, for compassion, and for justice. It's about recognizing that we're all in this together, and that we need to support one another. As we near the end of this exploration, I want to leave you with a challenge. I want to challenge you to recognize the spiritual warfare in your own life, to understand the enemy's tactics, and to take action. Don't be afraid of the spiritual realm, be empowered by it. Remember, you're not alone, and you're part of a community that's fighting for the same thing. In conclusion, spiritual warfare is real, it's happening all around us, and it's more relevant today than ever before. We can't ignore it, we need to recognize it, understand it, and fight back. Remember, the enemy's tactics are real, but our power is greater. We can overcome, we can triumph, and we can emerge victorious. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below.